Hi guys, Hannah here, Hannah and Capri, sitting over here on a sidewalk. Hopefully I'm able to show. Here is Guido Capri on harness. We're very frustrated here. Just hopefully I'm able to show myself. I'm using my front camera. Over here in the back, over here in the back behind me, it's the entrance to the Brea Mall. Hopefully I'm able to show here. To the left is part of the outside of the mall, and over here around in front of me is a parking lot. I just hear cars. I guess it's a freeway because or a busy intersection. And over here to my right there is a I called the people from the Be My Eyes application, and they told me that over here on the right, hopefully what I'm showing, it's a store, a department store, but they couldn't see. So I'm probably too far away. But anyway, I'm frustrated here. Just been sitting here for almost an hour because I'm having one of those days where being blind sucks, stinks. One of those days where I really hate to be blind, and depending on public transportation makes it kind of, it's a reminder that I'm blind, especially when you depend on that transportation where the drivers are mentally blind. Because honestly, you guys, there is nothing worse than, well, I shouldn't say this, but I guess nothing worse than having sight and being mentally blind. It's I'm wearing my glasses. I don't even want to take off my glasses because I might have mascara all over my eyes. This is one of those times and situations where I can avoid, just cry and cry because it's frustrating. I guess I'm ready to cry again. How was it that I would never cry when on my videos? But I showing Capri right now. Hopefully, Capri. And Capri is the best guide dog ever. But I guess she's not able to tell me like, Mom, that is Uber. And she knows how to recognize the taxi, the yellow cabs. I don't know. It took me a long time to understand that Capri knows when the taxi is there because she sees that circle with that triangle in the circle that the yellow cabs have. But with the Uber, it stinks. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I have this special transportation for people with disabilities here in Orange County, and I call a taxi, but the taxi was taking a long time because we pay less money for the program. It's a program called Same Day Taxi here in Orange County. It's through the Access program, a program that is Access is a transportation for people with physical disabilities. We have to call at least a day before to book the ride, and the transportation is not only for people that is disabled, but it's also for people that has, I don't know, say you broke your leg or your arm or you're not able to walk or function. You can apply for the program while you recover. So through that program, they have a program that is called the Same Day Taxi, where we only pay $3.60 within the 5-mile radius. So I noticed that in the last months, they're limiting us on the, with the rides. They usually take a long time, and this morning it was taking an hour. And I talked to the taxi drivers, and they said like, I don't know what they're talking about. That's not true. I've been standing right there for an hour. So I know it's because it's cheaper and they limit us like they do. Another limitation, right? So I decided to take an Uber that did the same thing like Uber drivers do. I have on my file that I'm blind, that I have a service animal, and I'm standing right there where there is a lot of cars right at the entrance of my apartment complex. And I can't believe that they don't see you, really. They're driving, they have quote unquote sight, and they don't see you. In the last weeks, I've been having to chase Uber, and when you're totally blind and there are so many cars passing by, you can only hope that the driver is going to approach you, that the driver is going to stop at least. If you're the one standing right at the entrance of your place, that the driver is going to approach you and ask. Well, I had a pickup over here at the mall, at the food court, from my Access program in Los Angeles. And with these programs, they only have specific pickups and drop-offs, and the ones that they have over here at the Brea Mall is the food court and Nordstrom. So the one that most drivers know and it's easy to find was the food court, but of course I had to chase Uber and question the fact that he didn't approach me, and he go like, oh, I didn't know it was you. I go like, you could have asked, especially when I have on my file that I have a service animal. Anyway, I asked him to drop me off at the food court, and he didn't. He dropped me off here at an entrance, and of course, I assume that because they have eyes, they're gonna drop me off in the right location. I asked him many times, is this the food court? Do you see a sign that says food court? I just call the Be My Eyes people and say like, we don't see a sign that says food court. It says Brea Mall entrance. And I told them there is a sign that says Access OCTA Pickup, which is the pickup sign for the program that I use, the transportation program that I use. And of course, you know, it's frustrating. But I had an incident last week too, where I had to call Be My Eyes to ask them if they saw Uber, because we receive a notification on the phone. And as the blind who use the iPhone, we use the voiceover program. It's this Apple screen reader for the blind. So I hear when the notification says your Uber is here, and I hear cars coming, you know. So because this is happening more and more, I don't know. We have a lot of sighted, mentally blind people nowadays. I guess that has always been the case, but when you're the blind person that is always out there by yourself, doing everything that you need to do, you realize that there is a lot of mentally blind people, and you realize that there is a lot of mentally blind people out there. But I called the people from Be My Eyes because the driver was not approaching me, and someone from Be My Eyes told me like, oh, the Uber is there, but they're already leaving. And he passed by me, okay, where I'm standing, right there, almost at the entrance of the location, like maybe 20 steps. There is no way they cannot see you with such huge guide dog and with my white cane. I have my white cane over here just so they know, that it's me. And I had to chase them, and I had to open up the door. And when I asked, didn't you see me? He didn't answer. And I kept asking, and he wouldn't talk. So he just said, yeah, it's Uber, but that's it. I thought he couldn't speak until he dropped me off, and he goes, be careful, when I was getting off. On the way back, I took a Uber that day, and the Uber driver parked like half a block away from where I was standing. I knew that Uber was there because of my aunt, but today the same thing happened. I hear all these cars passing by, no one is approaching me, and then the driver called, and I hear his phone ringing in his car. So I approach him and I go like, didn't you see me that I'm standing here? He goes, oh, I didn't even know it was you. You have a dog, okay? You could have asked. Anyway, he brought me here. I'm assuming that, he's dropping me off at the right location, but he didn't. So my program from Los Angeles, they left because I was not at the right location. And I didn't even know. It's frustrating. And then some people have the audacity to tell you like, oh, we're so proud of you. You should be happy that you don't see the bad things that happen in life. Really? We don't need to see physically to know that bad things happen in the world. Or some people have the audacity to tell you like, oh, you see with the eyes of the soul. Really? Then I'm double blind because those eyes didn't help me to know that I was not at the right location. And I'm very frustrated right now. It's one of those days that stinks. And for people to tell you like, oh, oh, Anna, you're so smart, whatever. Really? Cherish your eyes. For those who are sighted, cherish your eyes. Once you have your eyes and your body and everything, functioning, then you have everything to be able to function. You know, they say that more than 90% of what we absorb in life is out there is through the eyesight, and some people have the audacity to say like, I'm so proud of you, you know, I love you, I love you blind people, because oh my gosh, you so guys are so smart and you don't need to see because whatever. I go like, really? Don't tell me that. And you know, I'm not exaggerating, honestly, because some people would probably say like, oh, you know, she's just being a victim. Even some of my blind people, they go like, oh, you're just depressed, you're victimizing yourself. Really? These are people, blind people, that they depend on help for everything. But when you're someone like me that you don't have any help, you don't have a family, or I mean, and even if you have family, you have to get out there and do your own stuff. You know, you don't. I mean, everything to the extreme is not good. But I mean, there has to be a point of equilibrium, right, where you have a support system, or you don't take advantage of the support system, right? But I guess everything is to the extreme is not healthy for the person. But I'm one of those blind people that is always doing her own stuff, and you know, I mean, it would be very nice to always get help, but it would also stink to have a mom, you know, always on top of you, always helping, a father, a family or friends, always helping. I watched a movie in Spanish yesterday, this movie with from Bolivia, and the girl is actually blind, totally blind. She's really blind, and the whole movie was about how parents, how the life of a blind people is, but more focused towards how they, you know, having a mom that doesn't let you study or do anything because the mom is afraid that you would get hurt. And I mean, I don't want that to happen to me, but I guess it's difficult. The whole conclusion is that it stinks to be blind, because we have to practice how to get to locations. I mean, it's difficult when you go to a place and you don't know where you are, because I usually practice with my mobility instructor, you know, those locations that I'm going to be going to, or locations that I'm going to be like work or schools or whatever. But this is the Brea Mall is a huge location, and I assumed that I was at the right location. And of course, the transportation only waits for you for 5 minutes, and I missed it. But you know, really, for those sighted people, cherish your eyes, take care of your eyes, and think about the mental blindness. Having both, I guess, must be horrible, but being physically blind is not fun. It's not fun at all, and people who's passing by must think like, oh, that lady videotaping herself. But it is frustrating. And for those drivers, Uber drivers, taxi drivers, you know, approaching a blind person would be very helpful. Very helpful. Alrighty. Say bye, Capri. Capri knows the word alrighty, so she got up right away. You know the word alrighty, huh? Yeah. We're just gonna go and wander over there in the mall and get lost again. Bye. I also have this video in Spanish. If you know any Spanish speakers, tell them about us. Right, Capri? Right? We're gonna go to the mall.